aita for eating ice cream every night just like I always do and not stopping just BC my SIL doesn't want my niece to see it? Hey everyone, I, 32M, need some outside perspective here because I'm starting to feel like I'm going crazy. So, aita for eating ice cream every night just like I always do and not stopping just because my sister-in-law doesn't want my niece to see it? I feel like I'm being reasonable, but the tension in my house is getting ridiculous, and I'm starting to second guess myself. Buckle up, this is a long one, but I promise I'll try to explain everything so you get the full picture. For context, I've been living alone in my 2-bedroom house for about 5 years now. I bought it after a rough breakup, long story, ex cheated, I moved out, needed a fresh start, and I've worked hard to make it my own space. I'm not a super social guy, work from home as a graphic designer, mostly keep to myself, play video games, read, that kind of thing. I don't drink alcohol, never liked the taste, don't smoke weed, gave that up in college, and I'm not big on going out. My one little indulgence, my one fun thing, is a small ice cream cone after dinner. We're talking those tiny Joy mini cups you get at the grocery store, you know, the ones with the little wafer cone and a teeny scoop of ice cream, like maybe 200 calories tops. On a rough day, I might grab a bigger scoop from a pint of Ben & Jerry's, but that's rare, maybe once a month if work's a nightmare or I'm just feeling down. It's my treat, my little ritual, and it's been that way for years. I look forward to it, okay? It's not hurting anyone, and I'm not, like, eating a gallon of ice cream or anything crazy. So here's where the drama starts. My brother Jake, 35M, and his wife Laura, 34F, and their daughter, my niece Sophie, 5F, are staying with me for a few weeks. They live a couple states away, but Jake's job had him doing some training thing nearby, and hotels are expensive, so I offered to let them crash here. They'll be gone by June 15th, so it's just a temporary thing, and honestly, I was excited to have them. Jake and I have always been close, grew up sharing a room, played video games together, all that. Laura's fine, I guess. We've never been super tight, but we get along okay. She's a stay-at-home mom, super into parenting blogs and gentle parenting and all that stuff. Sophie's a sweetheart, super curious, always asking questions, and I love having her around. I even set up the guest room with a little stuffed animal and some coloring books to make her feel welcome. Usually, our evenings are chill. We eat dinner together, sometimes I cook, sometimes Laura does, sometimes we order pizza, and then they go off to the living room to watch TV. They're big on Netflix, Disney Plus, all that. I'm not a huge TV guy, so I'll clean up the kitchen, maybe scroll Reddit or play a game on my Switch, and then I'll make my little ice cream cone and eat it in the kitchen or my room. It's quiet, it's my routine, no big deal. Or at least, it wasn't a big deal until Laura brought it up. A few nights into their stay, maybe day 4 or 5, Laura pulls me aside after dinner while Jake's helping Sophie brush her teeth. She's got this super serious look, like she's about to give me bad news, and she goes, "Hey, can we talk about the ice cream thing?" I'm like, sure, what's up? And she says that Sophie's been noticing me eating my ice cream cone every night and starting to ask questions. Like, why does Uncle eat ice cream every night? Why can't I have some? Apparently, Laura's been telling Sophie that ice cream is a sometimes food, her exact words, and now she feels like I'm undermining her because Sophie's seeing me have it daily. I get it, kinda. Laura's trying to raise Sophie to have a healthy relationship with food, not see sweets as an everyday thing, and I respect that. I don't have kids, but I can see why she'd be worried about mixed messages. So I try to be reasonable. I say, okay, I won't stop eating it, but I can wait until Sophie's in bed. That way she won't see me. I figured that was a fair compromise, right? I'm not her parent, I'm not trying to mess up their rules, but it's my house, and this is my one little thing. Laura nods, says, thanks, that'd be great, and I think we're good. Problem solved, no drama. Except, it didn't work. Sophie's bedtime is around 8:30, but she's 5, so she's not exactly conked out right away. The next night, I wait until 9:00, thinking she's asleep, and I start making my little cone in the kitchen. Sure enough, Sophie comes padding in, pajamas on, hair all messy, and goes, "Uncle, are you having ice cream? Can I have some?" I'm caught off guard, so I just laugh and say, "Oh, sweetie, this is just for grown-ups tonight. Let's get you back to bed." I walk her back to the guest room, and Laura's there, tucking her in, and she gives me this look. Not, like, an angry glare, but this tight-lipped, eyebrows-raised thing that screams I'm annoyed but trying not to say it. I just shrug and go back to my cone. The next day, Laura corners me again, this time in the hallway while Jake's at his training thing. She's more direct this time. Really? Do you seriously need to eat ice cream every single day? She says, crossing her arms. I'm kinda taken aback because, like, yeah, I don't need it, but it's not about need, it's my routine, my little joy. I try to stay calm and say, look, Laura, it's just a small treat. I'm not hurting anyone. I already said I'd wait until she's in bed. But she's not having it. She sighs, rolls her eyes, and goes, I just don't get why it's such a big deal to skip it for a few weeks. You're making this harder for me with Sophie. I'm starting to get frustrated now, so I point out, well, you don't need to drink a glass of wine every day either, but I'm not asking you to stop. For context, Laura usually has a glass of wine after dinner, sometimes two, while they're watching TV. I'm not judging, it's her thing, just like ice cream is mine. But she didn't like that at all. Her face gets all red, she huffs, and says, that's different. That's not in front of Sophie. Which, okay, isn't totally true, Sophie's been in the room plenty of times when Laura's sipping her wine. Then she just walks off, and I can tell she's pissed. Since then, things have been tense. Laura's been short with me, little sighs, clipped responses, that kind of passive-aggressive vibe. Like, I'll say, hey, dinner was great, thanks for cooking, and she'll just go, and turn away. It's awkward, and I hate it. I'm not trying to start a fight, but I feel like I'm being painted as the bad guy here. Yesterday, Jake pulls me aside while Laura's giving Sophie a bath. He's all, hey, man, I know this is your house, but could you maybe just skip the ice cream for a bit? Just to keep the peace? Laura's really stressed about Sophie picking up bad habits. I love my brother, and I get he's stuck in the middle, but I was kinda hurt. I said, Jake, I deserve my little treats. It's my house, my routine. I already tried waiting until she's in bed. I'm not doing anything wrong. He just sighed and said, yeah, I get it, but it's only a few weeks. Think about it, okay? And walked off. Now I'm overthinking everything. Like, am I being selfish? I know this sounds bad, but it's not like I'm shoving ice cream in Sophie's face or offering her some behind Laura's back. I'm not trying to undermine their parenting. I even looked up those Joy mini cups online, 150 calories, 10 grams of sugar. It's not like I'm downing a sundae with whipped cream and hot fudge every night. I work out a few times a week, I eat pretty healthy otherwise, salads, chicken, veggies, all that. This is just my thing. And yeah, I get that Sophie's 5 and impressionable, but is it really my job to change my whole routine in my own house? They're guests, and I'm happy to have them, but they'll be gone in a couple weeks. Why can't Laura just explain to Sophie that adults have different rules? I feel like she's making this a bigger deal than it needs to be. There's more to it, too. I think part of why I'm digging in is because Laura's always been a little judgy. Like, when I first bought this house, she made a comment about how it's so small for someone your age. It's 1,200 square feet, not a mansion, but I'm one person. Or when I told them I wasn't dating anyone, she said, well, you're not getting any younger, you know. It's little stuff, but it adds up, and now I feel like she's trying to control my habits in my own space. I'm not saying she's a bad person, she's a good mom, and Sophie's a great kid, but I'm starting to feel like I can't be myself in my own home. I tried to be proactive, too. The other night, I texted Laura after Sophie was asleep. Here's how it went. Me, hey, I'm sorry if the ice cream thing is stressing you out. I'll keep waiting until she's in bed, and I'll be quick about it. Cool. Laura, it's not just about her seeing it. It's the principle. She knows you're having it every night now. Me, I get that, but it's my routine. I'm not hurting anyone. Can't you just tell her adults have different habits? Laura. That's not how it works with kids. I'd rather you just stop for a while. It's not that hard. Me, I feel like I'm already compromising. I don't ask you to change your habits. Laura, whatever. Do what you want. And that was it. She's been frosty ever since. I even tried eating my cone in my bedroom last night, door closed, super quiet, but Sophie still somehow knew. Maybe she heard the freezer? She came knocking, asking for ice cream again, and Laura gave me that same annoyed look when I brought her back to bed. I'm at my wit's end here. I guess I should add some background about me and food, just so you don't think I'm some ice cream obsessed weirdo. Growing up, our parents were pretty strict about sweets. Like, we'd get dessert maybe once a week, and it was a big deal. I remember begging for ice cream as a kid and being told, no, it's not good for you. I'm not saying they were wrong, but it made me feel like treats were this forbidden thing. Now that I'm an adult, I like that I can have a little something every day without guilt. It's not about binging or being unhealthy, it's about balance. I'm not overweight, I'm active, and I don't feel like I'm setting a bad example. But maybe I'm missing something? I talked to a buddy of mine about this yesterday over Discord. He's got kids, so I figured he'd have insight. He said I'm not the asshole because it's my house, and Laura should just parent Sophie better, teach her that different people have different rules. He also said Laura's being a hypocrite with the wine thing, which made me feel a little validated. But then I started wondering if I'm just being stubborn. Like, would it really kill me to skip the ice cream for a few weeks? I could switch to, I don't know, a piece of fruit or something. But then I get mad because I feel like I'm being pushed around in my own space. I've already bent over backwards, cooking extra for them, buying snacks Sophie likes, even letting them use my car when Jake's was in the shop last week. I don't ask for much, just my little cone. So this happened last night, and it's kinda the final straw. I wait until 9:30, thinking Sophie's definitely asleep. I grab my mini cup, sit at the kitchen table, and I'm halfway through when Laura walks in to get a glass of water. She sees me, sighs loudly, and goes, "You're unbelievable. You really can't go one night without it?" I'm tired at this point, so I snap back, "Laura, it's my house. I'm not breaking any laws. If it's such a big deal, handle it with Sophie." She just shakes her head, fills her glass, and walks out. Now I feel like crap, but also mad, because I don't think I'm wrong. Jake hasn't said anything since our last talk, but I can tell he's just trying to stay out of it. I'm torn, Reddit. On one hand, I get that parenting is hard, and Laura's trying to do right by Sophie. I don't want to make her life tougher, and I love my niece. But on the other hand, this is my house, my routine, and I feel like I'm being judged for something harmless. It's not like I'm eating ice cream for breakfast or giving Sophie a cone behind their back. I've tried compromising, but nothing's good enough. And the wine comment I made, maybe that was a low blow, but I only said it because I felt attacked. Should I just suck it up and stop for the next 2 weeks to avoid the drama? Or am I right to stand my ground? I deserve my little treats, don't I? Aita? Edit, okay, wow, this blew up way more than I expected. Thanks for the responses, but I'm kinda overwhelmed. Some of you are being super supportive, and I appreciate that, but others are going way overboard. I'm not calling my SIL an alcoholic, and I'm not trying to shove ice cream in my niece's face to spite anyone. Please don't encourage me to escalate this or be petty, that's not who I am, and I just want to figure out if I'm being unreasonable. The name-calling and sarcasm isn't helping, and I didn't expect this to turn into a war zone. We can't delete posts here, so I'm just gonna log off and step away. Thanks to those who gave thoughtful advice. I'll think it over and try to keep the peace until they leave on June 15th.